The San Diego Padres and Colorado Rockies take the field for the third and final time this weekend at Coors Field for the rubber game here in Denver. Welcome inside Coors Field, everybody, with Tracy Ringlesby and Roger Bailey. I'm Alana Rizzo, and it seems, though, Carlos Gonzalez in the three-hole getting things a little bit going. They have to, in terms of the Rockies have to have him going all the time, guys.
Well, they do. They need to win a series. It's been they've lost 4 out of 5 series. They need to come back today, put yesterday behind him, and it's going to start with Carlos Gonzalez. He has hit the ball very well over the last couple of weeks. He kind of changed his approach over the last 3 or 4 days, and it looks more impressive, looks more compacted, able to drive the ball out of the park.
Well, they need him, and then Tulowitzki started to hit too. So all of a sudden you get that 3 or 4 combination going. You get Carlos going. With the way the guys in front of him have been getting on base, this team can score a lot of runs. And that's a puzzle, because the one thing you felt really good about when the season opened was Gonzalez and Tulowitzki, and you were praying you could get the pieces around him to fit.
Well, the table setters are doing their job. Now we got to get these guys, bringing them home. All right, we're going to go back upstairs and once again bring in Tom Helmer and Jeff Houston. And Tom, I understand that Carlos has really picked it up in the last 4 games. A little bit of a coincidence that that's the same day you guys shot the new Taco Bell commercial?
Yeah, actually, because he shot a Taco Bell commercial last year. He felt like he really got some momentum after that commercial, just had a good vibe. He took off from there, won the National League batting title. Shot the Taco Bell commercial just a few days ago. He's been on fire ever since. He's 3 for 9 in this series with a homer and a triple.
Whatever it takes. But what I've noticed is the way the bat is staying in the zone much longer. And what I mean by that, folks, is this front shoulder for Carlos Gonzalez. When he goes to swing, earlier this season was kind of flying open. When it does, the bat goes into the zone and then immediately comes out. What he's doing now, he's keeping this shoulder in. When he does, the bat stays in the zone much longer, hits the ball harder. He can hit it out to center field. He can pull it. He can do a lot of different things with it. And it's just a minor adjustment that you make, but it's a huge adjustment as far as your swing and your mechanics and your mind.
It's made all the difference in the world. We're going to take a break here from Coors Field. When we come back, we'll talk about the guy that's going to be on the hill for the Rockies this afternoon, Jason Hamill. That's coming up next here on Root Sports. 7 innings in his last 3 outings. He's getting deeper into ball games, and today he's hoping to put a W next to his name as he takes on the San Diego Padres. Welcome back inside Coors Field. Tom Helmer alongside Jeff Houston. You have a pitcher in Jason Hamill who is pitching very well this season, and he's going up against an offense in the San Diego Padres that is playing much better baseball in May, especially over the last 4 games.
And they are. They've kind of got all the pieces of their puzzle working now for their offense, and it is going to be up to Jason Hamill to try to shut it down, what the Padres have been able to do just in these 2 games here at Coors Field. Jason, to me, has made that next step. The step that we've talked about him. He's won double digits the last couple of years, but to be a guy that has an opportunity to win 13 to 15 ball games, you have to stay later into the game. And you mentioned it, Todd, in his last 3 starts, he's gone at least 7 innings. Those are the baby steps that you have to take to become an elite pitcher. He's learned how to control his fastball. He's learned how to control the breaking pitches. And when there is a little bit of trouble out there, he knows how to put his foot down.
Well, the Rockies looking for the victory today, hoping to take this series against the Padres. Stay right where you are. Coming up next, it's Colorado against San Diego right here on Root Sports. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Ford Explorer, 2011 North American Truck of the Year. Ford Explorer, drive one. By the new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Welcome to Coors Field as we get set for baseball. Jason Hamill making his way to the hill. He's 3-2 this season with a 3.02 ERA. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, he has gone at least 7 innings in his last 3 starts. Will Venable will lead things off for the Padres this afternoon as you take a look at the Padres starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. Jason Bartlett will be batting second. Jorge Cantu back in there again. Followed up by Brad Hoff, who was the hero of yesterday's ball game with a 2-run homer in the 9th. Cameron Maben has been on fire this series. And you have Brian Ludwig, Eric Patterson, and Rob Johnson behind the plate.
He'll be going up against Jason Hamill today, 3-2 record, but over his last 4 starts, 2-1 with a 195. Controlling the number 3 and 4th place hitters has not been a problem for Jason. Just hitting 108 against him with 0 RBIs.
There's the first pitch of the ball game. That one misses for a ball. I had talked to Jason Hamill yesterday about what he's doing differently on the hill this season. And he said, you know what?
and I'm using his words, I've dumbed down my approach. Drives this one towards left center. Carlos Gonzalez back, and he makes the out. But he says that's the reason he's had more success on the hill this season, is that he is thinking less. He's just throwing the ball.
And that's all you can do as a pitcher, as a hitter, to go out there, trust your mechanics, trust everything that you've done, because once you let go of the ball, everything else is out of your control. Can I control it until I let it go? And that's what Jason is doing. Baseball players, their mind gets in their way too much a lot of times because there's so much downtime that your mind starts to play tricks with you and you start to overthink and overanalyze.
Well, here's the numbers from last season when he had a 10-9 record, and he's a guy, the way he's pitching, you certainly think he can get up towards 15 wins this season. And if you get that out of Jason Hamill, you're getting exactly what you need. Yeah,
as your number 3 or number 4 starter, that's more than what you could ask for. But last year it was 5 or 6 innings tops. And when you do that, you don't give yourself that extra inning to stay in to get the W. A lot of times you'll get a lot of no decisions, or you turn it over to the bullpen, and then after that, once again, it's out of your control.
Well, that's where he knows if he can go deep into ball games and deep into the bullpen, he's going to make life a lot easier on himself. There's a ground ball over to Lopez at second base, throw to first, and there's the second out of the inning. Take a look at the Rockies defensively today, and of course I said Jose Lopez over at second base. The infield's got Helton, Tulowitzki, and Wigington as well. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. You have Gonzalez, Fowler, and Smith in the outfield.
Jonathan Herrera just getting a day off. Jim likes to do that for him when he feels like his bat's starting to slow down a little bit, 4 or 5 days in a row. Plus, you also have to give Jose Lopez some at-bats.
Yeah. This is Jorge Cantu at the plate. I went up to him today. I go, I just want to make sure I'm saying your last name right. I heard someone say it last night, Cantu. He goes, no, it's Cantu.
Yeah.
This one driven to right field. This one's a fair ball into the corner. Cantu headed for second base, and he's going to have an easy stand-up double. Well, that'll bring up Brad Hopp, and he was the difference maker in yesterday's afternoon game as he came up in the 9th inning and hit a 2-run bomb into the second deck in right field.
A changeup that stayed flat. Didn't go down. Jim Tracy talked about it in his post-game press conference yesterday, that if you're going to throw something down to Brad Hopp, make it work out of the zone, have some depth or movement on it. You can't just throw it down for down's sake.
Well, it's time now for our Geico quote of the day, and it comes via Brad Hopp. Yesterday after the game, he said, I've been thinking about that moment for several months now. That ranks up there for good feelings for me as far as baseball goes.
I mean, every guy that gets traded or released, whatever happens to him, wants to come back and play well against the team he used to play for. It's just a personal pride issue.
I saw him as he was making his way to the cage this morning. I said, did it feel good? He said, awesome.
Awesome.
Two 2-0 the count to Brad Hopp. Swing and a miss. Hopp's 9 for his last 17 at the plate with a home run and 5 RBI. For a guy that really struggled in April, May has been a completely different story for him.
Yeah, there were some rumblings about in April how much longer he was going to be able to stick around in San Diego because his numbers were so bad.
Well, he batted .098.
But since April 25th, 365.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.
Checking.
And they said he didn't go around, so the count goes to 3-1. You see what he did in April. He started out .098, then picked it up, as you said, towards the end of the month to get that 161 average. But May,
well, yeah,
it couldn't go much better.
Well, two things. He's replacing a guy in Adrian Gonzalez, and he's also learning a new position at first base.
In fact, since April 25th, there's only been one guy better batting average-wise. Here's the pitch as he follows this one back. And it's Matt Holliday, his former teammate.
Matt, since he came back from the appendectomy, it was like he rolls out 2 or 3 hits a night.
He's lighter now.
Got that dead weight off there.
There you go. Didn't need that. Done with it. Full count to Brad Hop. Jorge Cantu at second base. And Hop follows that one back.
Two areas you can attack Brad's zone is in towards the hand. He really likes to get those long arms extended at 6'3". A lot of levers moving, but you can pitch him in with the fastball, and you can also elevate, meaning anywhere right at the belt or above.
Here's the payoff pitch. This one fouled off. So Hop battling against Jason Hamill here in the early going. Hamill in his last outing had a ball lined off his calf. Didn't knock him out of the game, but it certainly stung for a little while.
Had a bruise for a few days, but did not interrupt his side work or any preparation for today's ball game.
This one grounded towards Helton. He'll scoop it up, pitch it over to Hamill, and that'll take care of business here in the top half of the first. We head to the bottom of the first, no score. The bottom of the first inning. There's a fan bundled up and ready to go. 44 degrees to start this ball game. Dexter Fowler will be leading things off for the Rockies. Take a look at the Rockies starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Seth Smith has been all over the lineup in this series. Batted leadoff in game one. He batted sixth yesterday. He's second today, followed by Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, Helton, Wigington, Lopez, who we talked about at second base in there as well, and Chris Iannetta behind the dish.
Facing Matt Latos, who on the season's 0-5 at the 486. Think about this, folks. Up until the end of August of last year, he was 13-5 with the 229. He has not won a game in his last 11 starts.
The ground ball to first. Easy play for Hop, and there's one away. Take a look at the Padres defensively. In the outfield, you've got Ludwig, Maben, and Venable. Around the infield, Cantu, Bartlett, Patterson, and Hop. Matt Latos, as we just mentioned, on the hill. And you've got Johnson, Rob Johnson, behind the plate. So with one away, that'll bring up Seth Smith. Yeah, Latos, as you mentioned, Huey, needs his next decision to be a win to keep from joining Gary Ross in holding the franchise record for losing 11 straight decisions.
And during that time, his ERA is over 6.18.
You take a look at winless starters who have had 6 or more starts. Jeff Francis, former Rocky, up there.
Baldo on that list. Madison, Baumgartner.
There's good names on that list. The Padres are 1-10 in Latos' last 11 starts. This one fouled down the right field line.
He has a live fastball, comes over the top, not a whole lot of movement on it sideways, more of a straight four-seamer, 92, 93 miles an hour, power slider, occasional curveball and changeup.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one's a strike to even the count at 2-2. Latos is 0-1 lifetime against the Rockies with a 5.40 ERA. He's had one start previously at Coors Field. He went 6 innings and gave up 4 runs.
There was an outing in San Diego last year where he pitched lights out against the Rockies for about 6 innings, and then they touched him up.
Yeah. The 3-2 pitch. This one fouled back. I talked to Bud Black before the game about the mental health of Matt Latos, and he said certainly the guy needs a win. He needs to feel better, and not all of his outings have certainly been bad outings. There's been a couple games this season where an untimely home run swung the game one way or another. He goes, he's had other outings where he got beat up. He goes, but he's also a young pitcher, and he's far from the finished product.
He's just 23, and he already has over a year of service time, and all those things, you think that a guy is going to be mentally strong enough to handle some adversity. It just shows you that this game will eat at you no matter how old, how young, but you have to be able to overcome those things.
Maybe tacos would make him feel better. Who wants tacos? Fans, remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 p.m. and get your Rockies taco special. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell.
That's right. You owe me tacos tonight.
I owe you today. You got yesterday.
Yep.
It's my day today. Remember, go to Taco Bell today for the Rockies taco special. Well, here's the McDonald's Big Mac Smack. Came yesterday. Carlos Gonzalez blasted one into the second deck. Text McD to 720-720 and get one free Egg McMuffin or Big Mac with the purchase of any drink, valid at participating Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming McDonald's. Carlos Gonzalez, the count 1-1 against him.
Talked about keeping that front shoulder in. That is the key. You can already see the name a little bit. When he goes to stride, make sure you can still see that name.
This one driven towards right field. Foul. That one was in the air forever.
I lost it for a second.
I took a look at Venable, and I took a look at the crowd, and that one burned up on re-entry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice as that.
Nice. Latos keeping an eye on Seth Smith over at first.
I'd like to see Seth get a little bit bigger lead. I know he's probably not going to steal any bases, but just to lengthen it out one stride, that might help you beat a ball that's in the hole over to second base. You could get it there or go first to third.
He's only stolen one base this season, but he's only had one attempt.
But with a lead that short, you're not going to be given the opportunities to steal any bases.
The 2-2 pitch. It's been fouled back. Do first basemen try to distract you? Talking, conversation, maybe disrupt you a little bit?
Depends on who it is. Some guys just can't help themselves over there. They
Some guys are just chatty?
Just chatty Cathys. They're just out there.
Who was the biggest talker?
Well, you had the I'll think of his name in just a second. You have Tony Pena behind the plate was the biggest talker for catchers.
Three and two the count now.
Sean Casey.
Sean Casey.
Oh my goodness. Talk about the weather, this, that, and the other thing. You have to make sure that you're paying attention to the third base coach, because you get caught in the conversation, miss a sign, not real good.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Runner going, and it's a walk. So Matt Latos has issued 2 straight walks, and now the runners are at first and second with only 1 away, and Troy Tulowitzki due up at the plate. Rob Johnson's going to go out and have a talk with Latos, make sure they're on the same page. The middle of the lineup for the Rockies in this series has caught fire, and they've certainly needed it. Carlos Gonzalez, we talked about, 3 for 9. Troy Tulowitzki batting .500. Todd Helton 3 for 7. Hit a bomb to center field yesterday. And the rest of the lineup has followed.
That's right. They've scored 19 runs, had 25 hits. You follow the leader, it lengthens your lineup up when you have your meat part of the order doing what you expect them to do, and what we saw for the first 13 ball games this year.
Tulo 0 for 5 against Latos. And he takes the first pitch strike. All right, you mentioned Sean Casey. He is the first guy I had ever seen in a Major League Baseball game get thrown out at first from left field.
I remember that play. Base hit to left. He didn't know what. Oh.
It went through a guy's glove. He thought it was caught. He stopped and then took off running again, and the left fielder threw him out at first.
Yeah, just your routine 7-3. On a base hit. Oh, no, it's not, because he didn't get to first base. He's not credited with the
How
base
much
hit.
ribbing do you think he took in the clubhouse after that one? When the left fielder throws you out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled back. 0-2 now, the count to Tulowitzki.
You're going to hear take the piano off your back. I can run faster than you backwards.
I could time you with a sundial.
Yes,
those type
all
of things.
those things.
A fan there taking pictures, but he wasn't aiming at the batter's box. You got to get some of those action shots in there. Hopefully Tulo can provide some here. The 0-2 pitch. It's a grounder towards third. This may be 2. They bounce the throw. It gets away from Hop and goes into the camera well. Seth Smith's going to come home and score, and it's a 1-0 ball game.
This would be a fielder's choice for Troy. No RBI. Ground ball to third. Cantu gives a feed. Derek Patterson just fine. He just threw it into the dirt. Nothing wrong with the feed. The hard slide from Carlos Gonzalez might have got him. Brad couldn't come up with the pick. Ball goes in the dugout. He'll take it.
So you have 2 outs and Tulowitzki at second base. Here's Todd Helton. First pitch ball. The 1-0 pitch from Latos. That one misses, so now the count 2-0.
And this is a point in the last number of ball games for Latos where he's exploded. He thinks that it's somebody else's fault. They should be out of this inning.
Yeah.
He loses his composure, his concentration, and then 3 or 4 runs are scored.
He gets that one across for a strike, and that's certainly not the way Bud Black wanted his pitcher to start the ball game. When you have a guy that has struggled in putting W's in the win column, can't do it, you know, looking at a possible 11th straight decision with a loss.
His last outing took up 51 pitches to get through 2 innings.
Well, that was the 22nd pitch of this first inning. But at some point as a pitcher, you've got to turn that corner.
Hey. Yes, exactly. There's nothing you can do but make another pitch and try to get out of the inning.
The 3-1 pitch, a strike, and now the count full to Helton.
But conversely, the offense, if you have a chance to get a guy while he's down, throw a couple more runs on there, that makes you feel pretty good.
Three-two pitch driven towards first. Brad Hopp has it. He'll step on the bag. The Rockies don't get any hits in the inning, but they do put a run on the board, and they lead at 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. One nothing. A reminder all season long, join us for Toyota Talk. Text your comments live during the game and see what you and fellow Rockies fans have on their mind about their favorite team. Text Toyota followed by a space and then your comment to 720-720. You can follow everyone's comments live during the sixth inning and the entire Toyota postgame show. Standard message and data rates do apply. Cameron Maybin leading things off for the Padres in the top of the second. Maybin's on a 10-for-14 tear with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and has scored 7 runs. Bud Black says part of the reason is he's being a lot more patient at the plate and putting the ball in the middle of the field. This one down the right field line just fouled.
Well, 4-game hitting streak for Maybin. He's only 52 behind tying Joe DiMaggio.
There you go. This was the date that Joe DiMaggio's streak started. Maybin's ahead of the curve.
What's impressive is that year there was 2 big milestones like Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams.
Yeah.
1941.
There's some pretty gaudy numbers. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Maybin strikes out. Let's check in with Mark Stout. Mark.
Tom Huey, I am here with Bill Hamill. This is Jason's brother. You can clap. Do you follow him pitch by pitch like, we do?
Yeah, my heart's pounding on every pitch.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
So how many games have you seen Jason pitch in person?
In the minors, it was a few. Now that he's in the majors, anytime they come within 4 to 5 hours drive from Pittsburgh, and then I take a trip to Colorado every year. So whenever I can, sure.
Oh, so you've seen him a bunch. So how many times have you been here to Coors Field?
This is my second time at Coors Field. Last year I stayed for I think 4 days. Today I got this week I got a good week this time. So it's been fun. The weather could be a little better.
Yeah, you brought some of that Pittsburgh weather. You're from the Pittsburgh area. Now you got to go back early today, I heard.
Yeah, I got to leave about halfway through the game here. So
what's the deal with it? Who planned that?
That's just the way it goes. I'm getting in at 11:30 tonight, so.
You got to work tomorrow?
I got to work tomorrow.
I hate that when the work gets in. So, when did you know that Jason was going to be a professional ball player?
I would say one summer he came home, and I just saw a different look in his eyes, more focused than I'd ever seen him. And he's just developed into his own man, and very proud of him.
What year was that? Like how old?
I would say that was probably the second year that he had minor leagues under his belt for 2 years at that point.
Did you play ball with him?
There was one game in Little League he got pulled up to play with me on the major team, and I hit a home run that game, and he had a double right after me, so pretty special.
That's awesome. Now, we've heard the story. I want you to confirm it. He really wanted to be a quarterback, right?
He played a little bit of quarterback early on. Pee Wee football, took an undefeated team as quarterback. He was pretty good. And we grew up Dan Marino fans, him especially, and he loves the Dolphins.
Do you still root for the Dolphins living in Pittsburgh?
I follow the Dolphins. I think they need to bring Marino back. Then they'll definitely follow.
He thinks that too. Tom's a big football guy. This one's down the line. It's going to go into the stand. So, well, it's great to see you here.
Thank you.
And we love Jason. He's having a good year.
Yes, sir. So, I think good things to come. I know he loves this city and loves playing for this ball club. So,
what's next on the docket for you to see him and the Rockies? Do you know? Do you have it planned out?
There's a trip coming in a month.
Where are you going?
Cleveland. Cleveland's close. And then
Cincinnati?
In New York. Cincinnati, I'll see if I can get my family to follow me up. My wife, Jen, and my girls, see if we can get up to Cincinnati.
All right, let's check out this 0-2 pitch. It's a little, give them a wave. Maybe they're watching.
Hi, guys. Love you very much.
All right, Tom Huey, Bill Hamill.
And, Mark, what year was that undefeated football season? How old was he?
What year was that undefeated football season, and how old were you? You remember?
Yeah, I was 12, which would have made him 10. I mean, he was small. He was still very small, but he was tall enough he could see over the line and had that advantage.
Did you have one of those seasons, Tom?
Nope. Well, actually, yes. I mean, I was on an undefeated team in college, but I certainly wasn't the quarterback leading them to victory.
Was it the Gauchos?
It was the Glendale Gauchos. That's right. You know, you and I are both Glendale Gauchos. Full count now. That could be a broadcast first. Two guys from the same junior college calling a Major League Baseball game.
Glendale, Arizona.
One of my many stops in college on the way to a professional career. 3-2 pitch. That one fouled back. Well, it's always nice when you can have family around, too. I saw his brother down in the clubhouse yesterday with him, and the two of them got to the ballpark early, and they were both all smiles.
Well, it just gives you that emotional support because they've been with you the whole way. They're not looking for anything. They just want to hang out because you're family.
The 3-2 pitch. This one driven towards left. Tulowitzki giving chase, and he makes the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jason Hamill. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Rockies. Bottom of the second. Looking to save energy and money? Find out how the little changes add up at togetherwesave.com. Your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, delivering reliable power, energy-saving tools, and more. Ty Wigginton will lead things off for the Rockies here in the bottom half of the second. He'll be followed by Jose Lopez and Chris Iannetta. First pitch ball from Matt Latos. Eric Patterson with a throwing error allowed the Rockies' only run to come across in that first inning. It's a 1-0 pitch, grounded fouled on the third baseline. I saw Ty Wigington before the game today. Had a big heating pad on his ribs with the ace bandage around it.
It's not unusual.
No, I said, how do you feel? He goes, good enough.
What's he going to tell you? I'm a little tight, a little sore here.
Pops this one up. Brad Hopp underneath it. Hopp put it away for the first out.
Well, he'll be at Coors Field tomorrow and Tuesday, which is the 16th and 17th. The Giants are in town, so root on your Rockies against the Giants, who were rained out in today's ball game against the Chicago Cubs. You know what that means, Tom?
That means Tim Lincecum's going to be on the hill tomorrow.
So get your tickets. It's going to be a good matchup.
You take a look at the NL West standings. Colorado a game back behind San Francisco. They played through rainy conditions yesterday, and the game was called after 7 innings. The Giants won that game 3-0. So
it was a quagmire out there.
It'll be Lincecum against Clayton Mortensen tomorrow evening here at Coors Field. And I'd seen bench coach Tom Runnels earlier today, and I said, "Did you see the Giants are rained out?" He goes, "Yeah. Who's next? Bob Gibson, Nolan Ryan." There's a base hit up the middle for Jose Lopez, and that's the first Rockies hit of the ball game.
Well, kind of depending on what the Giants do, you could either get Jonathan Sanchez or they could skip him. You could see Matt Cain. The good news is, though, when you go to Philly, Roy Halladay is not part of that rotation.
Well, you get a break there, and there is Clayton Mortensen.
You get Cole Hamels the first day in Philly.
Clayton Mortensen was swinging a bat in the clubhouse today.
Why?
And I said, he was just testing one out, and I said, you going to bring it tomorrow? He goes, yeah, I'm going to lean into one, put one over the fence. I'm tired of punching out. This is Chris Iannetta.
It's a pitcher's dream. His dream about hitting that home run.
The last Rockies pitcher to do it was Jason Jennings, who did it in his debut as a Rocky when he also threw a complete game shutout. The 1-0 pitch. And we tease our friend too, Roger Bailey, who's on today's pre and post game show. He's a Rockies pitcher that had a home run against the San Diego Padres. Hit it off Ashby, right?
Andy Ashby.
Andy Ashby.
Ricky Anderson tried to go back and catch it.
Couldn't reach it. 2-0 the count to Iannetta. And there's a strike.
We've seen just about everything from Latos. More sliders, more curveballs than what he has thrown in his previous games. Just watching video of him.
The 2-1 pitch. That one misses. So it's 3-1 now as he misses with a fastball.
Well, 2-0 he threw a slider, and that looked like it did catch the bottom of the zone, that fourth pitch with the fastball. But 2-0 slider, 3-1 slider, probably.
We'll keep an eye on Lopez over at first. Lopez has only attempted 1 steal this year and was safe.
Well, you might start him just to stay out of the double play.
There's the pitch. Fouled back. So now the count full on Iannetta.
Well, the danger you run into if you do start him, if you have to strike him out, throw him out, then Jason would lead off next inning.
Right. It's all about flipping the lineup.
Well, it is, and it's all about how the manager is feeling in that dugout. Does he want to try that? Does he feel confident? There's no book that says you have to do it. It's a lot of times a feel.
The 3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4. So now you have runners at first and second, and the pitcher Jason Hamill coming to the plate.
They wanted to try to go into Chris But it was a ball that was in underneath his hands, not a strike. For Chris, that's walk number 24.
So Jason Hamill will try and help his own cause. Leto steps off the hill.
Well, they just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Are they going to do the wheel play? They're going to do regular where the third baseman will read it. Latos has the line.
Now Bud Black's going to come out and have a meeting with everybody to make sure everybody's on the same page. Well, let's go back to July 20th, 1996.
Do we have to?
We have to. Roger Bailey at the plate, and he takes this one deep to left field. Ricky Henderson giving chase. Great crowd at the cue. That one gone. His one home run in the major leagues. And, of course, the confident trot around the bases.
So was that Qualcomm, Jack Murphy?
At that time, probably right on the cusp.
Yeah, of the Murph.
Yeah, of Jack Murphy or Qualcomm Stadium. 2004 is the last time a Rockies pitcher went deep. And it's not going to happen here as Jason Hamill squares away for the bunt. And that one's a strike.
Kind of unusual setup that the Padres are running on that last bunt play.
In
the fact that look how far the shortstop Jason Bartlett is away from second base. If they're running a normal one, he would be over into this area right there, making sure that guy stayed close to the bag.
Hamill gets the bunt down. Latos will go to first. And both base runners move up 90 feet.
Now, if this ball would have been bunted hard, then Jason Bartlett would have raced over. Jason would have gone over here to the bag as Jorge Cantu is coming in there. But the way it was bunted, Cantu had to read it, understand that, no, wait a second, that's not going to work. He goes back to the bag. They just get the lead out at first base. Jason put it right where you needed to.
So 2 out and 2 on. Here's Dexter Fowler. He looks at a curveball for a strike. Fowler grounded out to Hop at first in his first at bat in the first inning. It's a fastball for strike 2. You got Lopez at third, Chris Iannetta at second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Checks his swing. Did he go around? No. So the count 1-2. Here's your windshield damage. Call Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com.
So Doug got the answer for us. 96
was the last year that it was Jack Murphy.
It was the Murph.
So it was the Jack. I thought it was right on the cusp of the name change. The 1-2 pitch. And it's 2-2. Just saw Rob Johnson set up outside. You can tell by the fans in the background, it is a cool day here at Coors Field. 44 degrees at first pitch.
No rain though,
which is huge. The 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. He strikes him out. So the Rockies got a couple guys into scoring position but couldn't get him across. It's 1-0 as we head to the third. To you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. By the Colorado Lottery, don't forget to play. And by the Rocky Mountain Coal Mining Institute, promoting Western coal through education. Welcome back to the corner at 20th and Blake. Rockies with a 1-0 lead. Rob Johnson starting things off for the Padres here in the top of the third. He'll be followed by Matt Latos and Will Venable. Rob Johnson got the day off yesterday. This one driven hard to right, foul. Somebody gloved it, I think.
That's why you bring your glove, right?
That's why you bring a kid in the Rockies. You're looking, he's happy. He's got the Gonzalez. Yeah! Fist pump. Now I have to text everybody I know.
So this is how I did it. I saw the ball coming. I just reached over.
And here come the fans late to their seats. Yep. They could have had a shot at it. This one grounded towards third. Tulowitzki will take it, make the throw, and put him out. Wigington just had to stay out of his way.
And that's the hardest thing for a third baseman is once you get into that no man's land. Did I go too far? Can I get it? Should I let the shortstop get it? Well, he made the right decision. Let Troy get this, but then stop so you don't get in his way to throw. We see a lot of times that third baseman will then go ahead and cut in front of the shortstop, and you have to wait to make that throw to clear from him. That's now 186 total chances for Troy Tulowitzki, which leads the National League.
And he has just 2 errors. Now, if the ball were hit and Wigington has a chance to get to it, is he the one should take it since his momentum is carrying him towards first?
Yes, but a lot of times you get that feel after about 5 or 6 steps. Even if I get this, can I make the turn? Can I get turned to throw to first base? But with a guy like Troy at shortstop with his range, you know where he's playing, and you let him take it because he can make that off-balance throw with the strong arm.
Matt Latos strikes out. That'll be the second out of the inning. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. See a Wells Fargo banker today for details. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Will Venable will step into the batter's box. Jason Hamels retired the last 6 Padre batters. That one a strike.
Venable had that double yesterday to start the 9th inning. Line drive to left field that wasn't on the plate. It was off. Venable's a little bit like Brad Hopp, that you can beat him inside with stuff that is hard. Hard fastballs in.
Will Venable was batting 189 on May 3rd. Since that time, he's batting 367, 11 for 30.
That just goes to the whole Padres team and their batting average.
Yeah, they've all caught fire. Venable draws the walk.
Venable, 10 stolen bases, just been caught 2 times. Opportunity for him to steal early in a count. Either go first pitch, second pitch. Jason Bartlett can handle the bat. He can hit with a strike or 2 on him. Big lead Bartlett over at first.
Well, with that last walk, Colorado starters have now walked 99 batters, which leads Major League Baseball. And that number is compounded if the guy behind him does something. Then they become bad walks, and then you're, not that there's a good walk, but
Well, I just kind of look back to what happened in the 7th inning of yesterday's ball game. You had a leadoff walk to Cameron Maybin, then a base hit, and then another walk.
Yeah.
And then you have the errors. You're just putting yourself in danger when you do that. You don't give your defense a chance to make a play.
That one across for a strike, so it's 0-1. Venable does have 10 stolen bases this season.
And 42 as a ball club for San Diego, which is first in the National League, 3rd overall in the majors.
Padres do rank 3rd in the majors and lead the National League with 42 stolen bases. They like to run.
Well, when you don't have a team that has a lot of power, that's one way you try to score runs. He hasn't gone the first 3 pitches, but 1-2 with 2 outs. Good time to take off. But how does Tommy Runnels feel? Does he feel like this might be a time to pitch out?
It's the strategy game they play. They're going to keep a close eye on him.
His lead's the same all 4 times, which good base runners do that.
There goes Venable. Here's the pitch outside. Throw to second base. And he's got his 11th stolen base of the season.
With the breaking pitch, not much Chris could do on that throw. He got rid of it as quick as he could. Quick peek back to see what happens. Head first slide. Tag by Jose Lopez. And when you teach anything to the kids, it's the way that Jose is straddling the bag. You let the ball travel just a little bit deeper and then drop the tag right on him. Don't stand in front of the base.
The 2-2 pitch to Bartlett. Ball 3.
I want to go back to Jose Lopez for just a moment. When you straddle the bag, notice how he doesn't try to reach for the baseball. He lets it travel to him and then just drop straight down. If he's in front of the bag with his left foot, you have a tendency to reach for the ball, so you're reaching across your body, and then you have to reach back again to try to tag the guy.
3-2 pitch. That went off the plate. It's going to stay fair. Hamill's going to flip it over to Helton. And that takes care of the Padres in the top half of the 3rd. We head to the bottom half of the inning. Still 1-0 Rockies. Smith will lead it off for the Rockies in the bottom half of the third. Colorado with a 1-0 lead. After Smith, Carlos Gonzalez and Troy Tulowitzki due up. Seth scored on a throwing error by Patterson in the first inning. It's the only run of the ball game. Looks at that pitch for a strike. Seth Smith batting .277. He's driven in 17 runs this season.
We've already seen him hit leadoff in this homestand a couple times. Second today. He hit 6 yesterday.
And we talked a little bit about it earlier in the series too. The versatility Jim Tracy's had to move him up and down the scorecard. Batted leadoff. He's batted 6th. He's batted 2nd.
Well, when you only have to move 1 guy instead of 3 or 4 guys, that's what you're looking for, the stability in a lineup.
That one a ball. This is his 5th game batting in the 2-hole. He's had 3 games where he's batted leadoff, 4 in the 5-hole, 17 in the 6-hole, and he's batted once in the 7th hole.
But the thing about it, his name's in the lineup.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Grounder towards second. Patterson throw to first.
He's off the bag.
They didn't get him. Brad Hoppert pulled his foot off the bag, and Seth Smith is safe.
Eric really went back on this ball a lot more than I thought he should have. The chopper, see how he gave ground a little bit too much and had to throw off the dirt. And then Brad coming off the bag, Seth hustling down the line, excuse me, tried to cheat, but cheated too much and came off. It is a base hit though for Seth.
Second hit of the day for the Rockies, and that'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. Fouls this one off the left side. Carlos Gonzalez looking more like the National League batting champ he was a year ago over the past 4 games. This one driven towards center field. May have been drifting back. He'll make the catch, and Seth Smith will go back to first. Let's go down to Mark Stout with today's Fast Cash Sideline Report, brought to you by Fast Cash Gold Centers, where you'll always get 40% more for your gold. Mark?
All right, Tom, Huey, a few questions here at the ballpark about why the batter's box area and where the catcher sets up is discolored. Well, here's the deal. Mark Rasm, head groundskeeper, told me they took the clay out of that area. Not that they don't do that on a regular basis, but they had to wet it down to give it some consistency before the game. With the rains we have had, they didn't wet down the infield at all. So that's why it shows up as discolored. But that's all it is, just some new clay.
Tulowitzki drives this one towards left field. This one back towards the fence. Oh, just enough room for Ryan Ludwig. And Seth Smith has to go all the way back to first. It was shades of Tulo yesterday who had rounded second thinking it was going to go. Seth Smith had a long way back to first base.
Must have caught it just off the end a little bit. Because Ludwig's going back like, I might have to jump at the wall. And then he just stops, takes a peek to see where he's at, and settles underneath it. Seth was probably about 2 or 3 steps shy of where Troy was yesterday when he went all the way around.
Yeah, Troy Tulowitzki hit one down the left field line yesterday. It looked like it was certainly going to be a double. Tulowitzki had rounded second and had to go all the way back to first. Todd Helton at the plate now. And thank you, Mark Stout, for the report. I had noticed that the boxes were different. I just thought they were trying out a new design today.
Either that or they put a little bit different mixture of clay and water and mud and everything else that they do. The batter's box where the catcher is and the pitcher's mound, there's clay in there so you can really dig in and get a good toe hold. So the dirt there is naturally different than what you're going to see out on the infield. The infield has had a lot of the diamond dry on it the last couple days because of the rain. Then they start to get that mixed in. Well, then you have to take some of that off, put some other fresh dirt in. Constantly changing the mixtures.
The 0-2 pitch. Ball 1.
But the pitcher's mound is the same way, where the pitchers land. You can't have their feet slipping. See how it just digs in, and that's how you go to throw, because that foot hits and then the arm follows through.
That's great camera work. Hilton grounded out to first in his first at bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Runner going, throw to second base, and Seth Smith has a stolen base, his second of the season.
Picked the right pitch to run on a 1-2 count. We saw Will Venable steal last inning on a 1-2 count. Seth Smith gets the curveball, makes it easily. And that's where Seth could have 12 to 15 stolen bases in a year. Where he's hitting in the lineup, allowing him to expand that lead over at first base a little bit. They fall asleep. That's just 2 or 3 a month.
The 2-2 pitch. Helton drives this towards right center field. Logan calls for it, has it, and that takes care of the third inning. We head to the fourth. Rockies leading 1-0.
TNT trivia question of the day. Roy Halladay pitching for the Phillies today, a day after his 34th birthday. Maybe think about Rich Goose Gossage, born in Colorado and a Hall of Famer. Here's your question. How many states do not have a Hall of Famer born in that state? We'll give you a multiple choice here. Think it over. We'll get the answer coming up. Tom, Huey?
All right, thank you, Mark. Jorge Cantu leading things off for the Padres. He's got the only Padre hit of the day. It was a double back in the first inning. He'll be followed by Brad Hopp and Cameron Maben.
That's a challenging trivia question.
I'm not good with multiple choice.
No.
I find myself just guessing.
B.
Well, you start looking at some states where you think there's probably not many baseball like Wyoming.
Hey,
would be no. I mean, you're out of Wyoming. You're not in the Hall of Fame though.
I know. Cowboy is.
Tracy Ringolsby's in the Hall of Fame, but they're talking players.
Okay.
Cantu fouls that one off. So you got to start llooking at states maybe where you think maybe there haven't been a lot of Major League Baseball players to start with out of that state.
But they just have to be born
like
there.
Alaska.
Just have to be born there. There's a lot of military bases.
This is a base hit to the left side for Cantu. So he's now 2 for 2 on the day. That'll bring up Brad Hopp. You know, his 9th inning 2-run homer yesterday secured the Padres' biggest come-from-behind win since July 31st of 2009, when the Padres came back from 6 runs down to beat Milwaukee 11-7. Padres were trailing yesterday 7-1 before they came storming back late in the ball game.
Pretty close to the largest deficit that the Rockies have lost at home, where they had an 8-run lead and lost.
You certainly don't want too many of those in the season.
No.
The 1-0 pitch. So now Jason Hamill has fallen behind Hopp. Jason Hamill's brother watching on. Mark's down to talk to him a little earlier in the ball game. The 2-0 pitch. And it's now 3-0. And it's funny, in talking to Brad Hopp yesterday and to Jim Tracy a little bit today, he was talking about the leeway hitters get that struggle. Brad Hopp, we've talked about his struggles in April, but he's got a long history in the game, and people know he's going to pull out it. Younger players don't get the same benefit of the doubt, which puts a lot more pressure on them.
Well, when your career batting average is 279,
right,
in over 6 years, you have over 120 home runs, you're going to get that leeway because of it. You have a history. Well, there's no question. All 4 of those, or 3 out of the 4, were right at the bottom of the strike zone. Home plate umpire Jerry Meals has kept the zone consistent the whole day.
All season long, join us for Toyota Talk. Text your comments live during the game and see what you and fellow Rockies fans have on their mind about their favorite team. Just text Toyota followed by a space, and then your comment is 720-720. You can follow everyone's comments live during the 6th inning and the entire Toyota postgame show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Cameron Maybin's in an interesting situation now with 1st and 2nd. We've seen him drop down a bunt for a base hit. I don't see him squaring around in a sacrifice situation.
Swings at the first pitch. Todd Helton giving chase. He's got room, and he makes the catch.
Makes a huge out just because of Maybin's speed.
That'll bring up Ryan Ludwig. But to go back to your point about Hopp and his career batting average, if this was his 2nd year in the bigs and he started the month of April the way he did, he probably wouldn't be around very long. They'd send him back down.
Yeah, he would have been optioned back down. But when you put up numbers, when you've shown you can do it over a course of time, you will get that 2nd, 3rd, 4th opportunity. And people will say, just look at the back of his bubblegum card. It will happen. We need to be a little bit more patient.
Ryan Ludwig swings at the first pitch. This one headed deep towards left, and this one is gone. A 3-run homer for Ryan Ludwig, his 6th of the season. Well, he didn't wait long to pull the trigger on that one.
Well, 90-mile-an-hour fastball to Ludwig. Take a look to see where Chris wanted the baseball. He wanted it down and in. And Ludwig just really didn't do a whole lot with that front foot. Just rocked back a little bit and then took the barrel to the ball. It wasn't like Jason missed his spot. Chris set up. That's where he wanted it. And maybe Ludwig was looking for a ball in.
That brings up Eric Patterson. Count 1-1 to him. Still just 1 out in the inning. Well, Hamill was good against the Padres last year. He faced them 5 times and he went 3-1 with a 4.50 ERA. And in 4 of those 5 starts, went at least 6 in the 3rd innings. But Ludwig, with one swing of the bat, has given the Friars a 2-run lead. There's a 3-1 pitch, and he walks Patterson. That's the 2nd walk he's issued this inning.
3rd for the ball game. And it goes back to that stat that we showed earlier in the broadcast about the walks and the starters.
So Bob Apodaca out on the hill to talk to Jason Hamill. Ryan Ludwig has 6 homers in 50 at-bats at Coors Field.
Well over a 400 average here. One of the best hitters at Coors Field with over 50 plate appearances. He sits 6th on the list. Wally Joyner was the best here. And Jeff King, Ben Grieve, Glenn Allen Hill.
Glenn Allen Hill, first base coach for the Rockies. So Hamill will try and get back into a groove after his discussion with pitching coach Bob Apodaca.
Don't fall asleep though on Eric Patterson at first base.
There goes Patterson. Swing and fouled back. Patterson got a pretty good jump too. He was moving.
That was more of a hit and run with Johnson and Patterson than a straight steal.
Will he be moving again?
Maybe.
There he goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base. And they got him. Nice throw by Chris Iannetta. Because, Jeff, that looked like a great jump by Patterson.
It was, but Chris made up the difference. Now he's 10 for 30 throwing out base runners. Patterson got the jump. The tag from Lopez. And Chris is 6 for his last 11. Throwing out base stealers.
Chris Iannetta has an arm. There is no doubt about it. That's the first time Eric Patterson has been thrown out trying to steal this season. And he got him looking.
3 outs.
Well, a 3-run homer by Ryan Ludwig. The difference in this ball game so far. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Padres lead at 3-1.
Three to one. The answer to the AT&T trivia question: how many states do not have a Hall of Famer born in that state? The answer is C, 14. And guys, I was mentioning Roy Halladay was going for his 175th career win today, but the Phillies are losing in the 9th inning. Goose Gossage, born in Colorado, the only Hall of Famer from this state. Roy Halladay have a chance? What do you think? Obviously, 2 Cy Youngs?
Yes.
Yeah, Joey, he's in?
I'd say he has a chance.
So you got to get to how many wins does he have to get? He's been playing 14 years now.
Well, he's got to get well upper 200 to start to get to that consideration. A lot of times people say 300 is a magic number.
That's a good question. Ty Wigginton at the plate. Now, there's no baseball player Hall of Famers from Wyoming, but Tracy Ringlesby, hidden up there behind the glass, sits back in the 3rd row where he likes to hide out.
Don't forget,
We'll say that he's a Hall of Famer from Wyoming, and Gowdy.
Kurt Gowdy.
Yeah.
State Park.
There's a tip of the hat from the Cowboy.
Kurt Gowdy outside of Cheyenne.
Right now he's asking his producer, Allison, what are they talking about?
Are they talking bad about me? Right now, Roy Halladay has 174 wins. And the way he's been able to pitch year after year after year, another 5 years or so, he's going to be a lock to get there because of the dominance that he's had during his career.
The count 2-2 to Ty Wigginton. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out. Second strikeout of the day for Matt Latos.
Yeah, but fans, you can ask about the Rockies' sweet 6-pack deal and take advantage of savings up to 40% off the regular price. 6-game suite. Call 303-312-2444 for more information.
There's fans out there in the rock pile enjoying the ball game. That's a fun group out there. They line up early before the ball games, get in line. Yeah, sure, a little dancing. They're having a good time out there.
A lot of diehard fans. Fun to see.
Ground ball, base hit for Jose Lopez.
See if Jason Bartlett gets up from this and is able to continue to play. That was a bad dive. Well, Jose Lopez with his 2nd hit today. Hits it between short and 3rd, but just watch the way the wrist and the arm get buried underneath for Bartlett. Now, my question, and I've done it before, I'm guilty of it. Why dive for a ball there when you're thinking the guy's going to be over at first base? You're not going to be able to get up and throw him out. I understand it if there's a run on second base.
Well, I think you can't stop the adrenaline. You're programmed to go and get the baseball.
But sometimes you do it.
You still want to get the ball regardless if you're going to make the out or not.
But then after you do it, you go, why did I do that? But you are programmed just to get everything that you can. I'm just thinking
you can't start moderating what you are and are not going to dive for.
But what I'm thinking is I saw that wrist, the way it got bent back. I saw the shoulder. Those are the ones you wake up the next day and you, oh, that's why it hurts.
0-1 count to Chris Iannetta. There's a ball. It's interesting as you talk about diving forward because Brad Hopp over at first base, we saw him play a lot of games in right field here at Coors Field. He would only slide feet first. He dove head first twice in his career. Once at LSU, hurt his shoulder. Once in the minors, I think broke his wrist. And he said, that's it. I'm not diving head first for balls anymore. I'm going to slide feet first. And he's stuck to that.
Well, it's easier for an outfielder to do that than it is for an infielder. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see a lot of shortstops sliding feet first to try to get to the baseball. I'm so far past it, I'm going to lay down and take it. 1-2 the count to Iannetta. Lopez at first. Foul hard down the left field line. Check out the rock pile.
Oh my goodness!
They don't even know
how much did they pay
Who coached them
to do that?
Well, thank you. Embarrass me, but thank you.
I might need a Homer as my homeboy shirt.
To get some sent up to him. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's ball 2. Do you see a more patient Chris Iannetta this season?
More relaxed. because he's more relaxed, he's more patient. Seeing almost 5 pitches per ball game. He's second in the National League in walks, trailing only Joey Votto, who has 32.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he's called out on strikes.
Cut the corner with the breaking pitch. Jerry Meals has had the strike zone, had the corners, he's had it up and down.
So 2 strikeouts for Latos in this inning, 2 away. Jason Hamill, the batter. Hamill laid down a sac bunt back in the 2nd inning. Here's ball 2. Jason Hamill's brother watching on. Probably more nervous than your, you know, if you're watching your son or a brother or a family member, that you can't control anything. You just have to sit there and sweat it out.
It just, when you have the uniform on and you're playing, you're in control. When you don't, you have no control and you just live and die, as he said, by every pitch.
And sitting next to Bill is Jason Hamill's wife. He's just kind of, oh, come on. It's a 3-1 count.
It was 3-0. He had to take.
Come on, brother. You can do something here. Going right back to Latos. Hamill will throw down the bat. Latos throws it over to Hop. And that takes care of the 4th inning. We head to the top of the 5th. Padres lead at 3-1. Toyota stores, Toyota moving forward. By the Colorado Lottery, don't forget to play. By Comcast, advertise your business locally on networks people watch. Go to www.comcastspotlight.com. And by Wells Fargo, get 2-for-1 Rockies tickets. Wells Fargo customers visit wellsfargo.com/Rockies for 2-for-1 club seats. Get set for action here in the top of the 5th. Matt Latos will lead things off for the Padres. Ryan Ludwig hit a 3-run homer in the 4th to give Latos the lead. It was a first pitch strike from Jason Hamill. On a grounder to Tulowitzki. Throw to first in time, and there's one away. Time for today's Quest high-speed pitch. Matt Latos hitting 95 on the radar gun, same as Jason Hamill. It's brought to you by the new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details.
Will Venable did the slow walk up the home plate with Latos making the first out of the inning to give him a little more opportunity to catch his breath.
Tries to lay down the bunt.
That one he was going to take with him down the first baseline. Try to beat the pitcher to the bag.
Can a right-handed hitter hit a drag bunt? Only a left-hander can drag, right? A right-hander.
He pushes it. Yeah.
Someone had brought that up in a discussion before, and I said right-handed hitters can't drag a bunt.
I always get mixed up in that terminology. To me, it's
just bunt.
Just bunt. Yeah, if you're going to go down the third base line, you just drop it down the third base line or bring it with you down the first base line. You're right-handed, you push it towards first, take it down third. I never really ever figured that out.
2-2 the count now to Venable, who flew out the left back in the first, walked in the second, or in the third, stole a base. All the Padres runs coming on that Ryan Ludwig home run. The drive towards center. Dexter Fowler underneath it, puts it away. Let's go back. This date in history is when Joe DiMaggio began his 56-game hit streak. He gets one hit in every game until July 17th, when his accomplishment is stopped in Cleveland.
Then he started it up the next day, and I'm trying to remember how many games after that. I think he hit another 18 games or some ridiculous number after that.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I'm going to look up that information. I think it was 18.
Jason Bartlett at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. The 1-1 pitch from Hamill. Grounded towards Tulowitzki. Throw to first in time, and that takes care of the top half of the fifth. We head to the bottom half of the inning. Rockies trailing 3-1. Gonzalez will lead things off for the Rockies in the bottom half of the fifth. Reminder, all season long, join us for Toyota Talk. Text your comments live. It's a ground ball to third, throw to first. Brad Hopp with the stretch for the out. Reminder to text your comments live during the game and see what you and fellow Rockies fans have on their mind about their favorite team. Text Toyota followed by a space and then your comment to 720-720. You can follow everyone's comments live during the 6th inning and the entire Toyota postgame show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Dexter tried to drop the bunt down, just got a little bit too far. Jorge Cantu had to come in and barehanded stretch by Brad Hopp, got him by a step. Just want to clarify something. I thought he had 18 straight games after he broke the 50s. It was 16.
16 for DiMaggio.
16, 18.
That's good that you were close. You only missed by 2. The 0-1 pitch. Seth Smith walked and scored the Rockies' only run in the first, and then singled in the third and stole a base. You'll see the different spots he has hit in the order and how he has fared in those spots. He's in the 2-hole today, where he's 7 for 20 this season. The 1-2 pitch.
For whatever struggles Matt Latos had coming into the ball game, he's mixed all his pitches up very well today to keep the Rockies off balance.
Count now full. Let's see how Matt Latos has fared. Righties versus lefties. 5 of the 6 home runs have come against right-handed hitters.
And most of those have been off hanging breaking pitches.
The 3-2 pitch fouled off. It's a 3-2 pitch again from Latos. Driven towards right field. This one's going to hang up. And it's put away by Venable.
Hey fans, don't forget the first 10,000 of you on May 25th, the game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's right, the first 10,000 fans will receive a Great Clips coupon. It's the day after the day-night doubleheader.
What else do you want to do on it, too? It's a full day of baseball.
With a day off the day before.
It's perfect. Perfect for the fans. Carlos Gonzalez with a swing and a miss.
And don't forget, we're going to televise both games of that split doubleheader.
I will not forget.
No, I know. I'm just letting our fans know. We'll have pre- and post-game shows for those, too. Rockies all day long.
It's all day long. Call in sick that day. Play hooky.
We'll be here, though.
Well, we'll be here. It's our job. 0-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Strike 2. And you had talked about, Huey, in the pregame show, things Carlos Gonzalez is doing a little bit differently as of late that has helped him out.
That front shoulder is staying closed a little bit longer, getting a good coil. So it's like a spring reacting. You pull it back and hold it and then let it go.
This one popped up along the third base side. This will make it back to the seats. Ah, somebody one-handed it.
And from the side, I was talking about this front shoulder right here. That thing staying closed as this front foot's landing. The hands are in a launching position, and then he stays right through the baseball. Didn't get it there.
No.
But the swing is better as he's moving forward.
4th strikeout of the day for Latos. We head to the 6th. we take you back to Monday. Chris Iannetta with a line drive home run to left field against the Mets. Then on Friday night, first game of the series against the Padres, the Rockies exploded for 12 runs on 16 hits. And then in Saturday's game, Todd Helton with a solo home run in the third inning. Clutch plays of the week are brought to you by Amco, AA, beep beep, MCO. Nice drop in there, Jeff Houston. Jorge Cantu at the plate. 2 for 2 today. Double in the first, singled and scored a run in the fourth. Hamels falling behind him 2-0. This one hit towards shallow center. Dexter Fowler will put it away.
Dexter ran a long ways for that ball. I thought Jose Lopez was going to catch it.
Well, he started drifting in, and then he picked up some momentum, and even at the end, I thought like you that Lopez was going to have it.
Yeah, I got it easy, guys. Don't
listen,
panic.
I've come all this way. I've got everything from second base to the wall and in between both foul lines. There's Brad Hopp. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk, scored a run. In his career in the 4-hole, which includes 131 games, he hits .283. He's had 17 home runs and driven in 82 runs. It's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Hopp's facial hair not as cool as the Todd father's immaculate goatee.
It's just not as bushy. Hasn't quite filled in all the way.
I guess I didn't realize how much, as he swings and misses and strikes out, how much I liked the goatee look on Todd Helton until he had shaved it off in Arizona like a year or two ago.
I like it. Breaking pitch from Jason Hamill. Left it up. Just beat him still with it. Hey, Tom, did you see that last one?
Somebody from the Springs wants to know, because it's their names, Jeff. Am I buying them tacos today as well? I'm going to hold off for now. I can only buy for one Jeff at a time.
That was part of the fine print.
Rapid City checking in.
Korea.
There's Cameron Maben. Swings at a 1-0 pitch and fouls it back. Don't let Hop beat ya. Can a hit streak be extended over 2 seasons?
Yes,
Brian and Aurora.
Yes, Brian.
The 1-1 pitch. That one's a strike.
Still plenty of outs to go for a Coors Field comeback.
Yeah, a total of the Padres, 25 of their first 39 games have been decided by 2 runs or less. And there's a strikeout as Maben goes down. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. Rockies trail 3-1. up for Express Toll today and start paying 20% less on E470 tolls. Well, after this series wraps up, the San Francisco Giants come in for a pair. Then the Rockies hit the road for a 5-game road trip, which includes 2 against the Phillies and 3 against the Brewers in Milwaukee. And it'll be Tim Lincecum on the hill tomorrow for the Giants after the Giants were rained out in Chicago this afternoon. Matt Latos facing Troy Tulowitzki to start off the bottom of the 6th, and that's a strike.
And right now they're saying Jonathan Sanchez
will be
on
game
Tuesday.
2.
That's just the latest information that I received. It doesn't get any easier when you go to Milwaukee. Zach Greinke's pitching today, so he's lined up to go on Friday. That's why it's called the big leagues.
Tulowitzki pops this one back. Will they have enough room? Yes. Rob Johnson makes the catch, and Tulowitzki's out. Well, you look at Todd Helton. Now keep in mind, on May 15th of last year, he was batting .257, hadn't hit a home run, only had 7 RBI. This year is a completely different story. Batting .319, he's already gone deep 5 times.
He didn't get his 5th home run last year until the end of August.
And he ended the season batting .256, which is the worst he's ever finished a season in his major league career. Helton has had hits in 10 of 11 games in May, which is a stretch this season batting .349 with a pair of homers and 8 runs driven in.
And Jim's still adamant about giving Todd his days off. Make sure that you keep him healthy. Make sure you keep that tank at least partially full. Don't run it completely to empty before you give him that day off.
1-2 the count to Helton. There's Jim Tracy. You also see Carney Lansford and Tom Runnels. Part of the brain trust of this Rockies coaching staff. There's a ball. So far for Matt Latos, this has certainly been his best pitching performance of the season so far. He's not given up an earned run. The deepest he's gone into a ball game this year is 6 1/3 innings.
And that was early in the season.
Yeah, he's gone 5 1/3 right now, and the run on the board wasn't earned.
He's only thrown over 100 pitches one time this year, but that took him 4 1/3 innings, so he surpassed that as far as innings pitched and less pitches to do it in.
Foul. That one hits Glenn Allen Hill. He tried to dance himself out of the way, couldn't quite maneuver.
Geez, tough. He'll toss the ball up and give it to a fan.
Glenn Allen Hill actually has a couple of bad knees. He was playing a game in San Francisco once. There was a home run hit. He decided he was going to climb the wall. He goes, I know it was too far to get to. I just was mad. I kind of jumped up the wall. When I landed, popped the cartilage in his left knee. 3-2 pitch. That one fouled past Glenn Allen Hill. So he said over time the cartilage wore itself away until you had bone on bone. And he walks on the treadmill and does some exercising. He says at some point he'll need two new knees, but he wants to hold off as long as possible to have that done. This one driven to right center field. He got all of that one. It is a home run for Todd Helton.
Well, as if almost on cue, talking about his power this year, his average. Todd Helton, now you see enough pitches from a guy like Matt Latos. But to be able to get on top of a ball that's up by the letters and drive it out, that's tough to do. And Todd knew it when he hit it. He carries it back for a little bit, finally flips it. This was well into the bullpen.
All Will Venable could do is watch it go, and it's now a 3-2 ball game as Ty Wigington comes to the plate.
339 home runs in his career for Todd Helton.
Well, that ties Tino Martinez, Dave Parker, and Boog Powell for 86th all time. That was his 339th career homer. It's made it a one-run ball game. Todd Helton atop the Rockies home run leaders as he continues to lengthen the gap between himself and Larry Walker. Vinny Castilla, who's third on that list. He's a special assistant with the Rockies. You see him around here during home games. Good luck getting him a day off.
Yeah. Well,
it gets harder and harder for Jim Tracy.
His next day would probably be on Tuesday, the day game. Chad Qualls just grabbed a baseball and has been firing out there because of what happened with that home run.
Wigington swings at that one in the dirt. It's 3-2. The 3-2 pitch fouls it back. That went over the head of Lopez.
But after it hit off the netting,
he didn't want to get hit either way.
Right, but it went off the netting. Jose didn't react. He
didn't have time to react.
Right, but
you got to pay attention down there in the on-deck circle.
The rebound.
3-2 pitch again. That one fouled back.
Wigington reaches. Look for Bud Black to bring in Chad Qualls.
Swing and a miss, and Ty Wigington strikes out. So Jose Lopez, who's 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of singles, will step in. Hey, your windshield damage? Call Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Lopez down the left field line. This one will drift into the seats.
Very aggressive swinging from Lopez today. Third at bat, seen 4 pitches.
Well, Todd Helton has now homered in consecutive games. Last time he did it, August of last year, the 27th and 28th against the Dodgers. And you said it wasn't until August that he got that first home run last year. Here's a ground ball towards short, and it'll be mishandled by Bartlett. Lopez safe at first.
The 4th error on the season for Jason Bartlett. He just didn't bend his knees to go get this baseball. Watch where the glove is. And the knees are very stiff. Glove behind his eyes, does not get it out in front, look it in.
Well, Bud Black's going to come out to the hill. He's going to take the baseball from Matt Latos. We'll take a timeout here at Coors Field. It's a 3-2 ball game. travel, relax. We take care of you. Todd Helton with a 422-foot drive into the bullpen. A solo home run that has made it a 3-2 ball game. Welcome back to Coors Field. Chad Qualls now into the game for the Padres as they pull Matt Latos out. And it's interesting, they pull Latos out after an error that would have ended the inning in a 3-2 ball game. Latos is just one loss away from picking up 11 consecutive losses in decisions, which would tie a franchise record. At worst now, it's a no decision.
And that's why Bud Black did that. And I had mentioned a moment ago, if Ty Wigington had got on, that you would see Chad Qualls, because he doesn't want those type of records to happen to Latos. Plus, you have a veteran in Chad Qualls to be able to come in. The bullpen for the Padres, one of the best in baseball, with the one-run lead.
Yeah, they have a 2.18 ERA, which leads the National League. And it's an interesting inning here. The Padres are 9-0 this season when leading after 6. They lead 3-2 here with 2 outs in the 6th. Iannetta fouls that one back.
Let's hope the air comes back to haunt the Padres. It did already in this game. But the Padres have allowed 24 unearned runs this year, which is the most in the National League. Matt Belisle is up and tossing for the Rockies now as Ryan Spilborghs goes to the on-deck circle.
And then fouls another one back. Count 1-2 now. Iannetta has walked and struck out. You see Ryan Spilborghs on deck. Lopez at first. The 1-2 pitch to Iannetta. There goes Lopez. Pitch outside. Lopez has second base. That'll be his second steal of the season. On just his second attempt of the season.
Why not? If they're going to just not pay attention to you over at first base. Breaking ball count. Chad Qualls shows a lot of them. Now you're just a bloop hit away from tying the game up.
The 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. He's trying to work him low and away.
That's what Chad does. He has that closer's mentality, because he was a closer with the Arizona Diamondbacks. That I'm going to get beat. It's going to be beat away or down into the zone. Fastball, sliders, all you're seeing from Qualls.
The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he struck him out. You saw some emotion there from Qualls as he gets the Padres out of the inning. It's 3-2 as we head to the 7th. inning brought to you by Xcel Energy. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save energy and money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. And it was an efficient top of the sixth for Jason Hamill. We got Jorge Cantu to fly out, then struck out Brad Hopp, and then struck out Cameron Maben looking. Well, let's check in with Mark Stout. Where are you at, Mark?
I'm in the rock pile, Tom, and here we have attracted a crowd. They're from the Walnut Hill Elementary School in Cherry Creek. And speaking of schools, did you know that Ty Wigginton grew up in San Diego? And when he was these guys' age, he was a fan of the San Diego Padres. And I said, who was your favorite Padre? He goes, it's a long list. Where do I start? He started with Tim Flannery. But he went to Chula Vista High School, Tom, and you'll like this. Also going to that high school, Donnie Edwards, the linebacker that everybody knows from the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs, and Mario Lopez of Saved by the Bell, and he does know Mario Lopez.
But can he introduce us to Screech? You got to use connections here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, for 10 points, name Mario Lopez's character in Saved by the Bell, Tom.
Slater.
Yes.
Yes.
Slater. Way to go.
You think I didn't watch, but I did,
I
Mark.
know you watched it, Tom.
And Kelly and Zach and the whole gang. Yeah, I watched. Thank you, Mark.
That was impressive.
Here's a pop-up. Todd Helton underneath it, and he puts it away. That'll retire Ryan Ludwig.
I like the fact that Jim Tracy sent Jason Hamill back out for this inning. He'd only given up the home run to Ludwig. You're down 3-2. You send him back out there. He'd only had 90 pitches coming into this inning. You still give him the opportunity to win the ball game. He's on the hook right now for the loss. So let him have this chance to go get a clean inning. Yeah, he went at it. And then you're going to pinch hit for him anyway.
Yeah, at this point he's thrown 94 pitches. So this will be the end of the day for him. You're right. The one mistake to Ryan Ludwig, the 3-run homer, has been the difference. Padres have that 3-2 lead. And you see the scorecard. And we're not sure, but under available pitchers, he didn't write down any right-handers. I don't know if he's giving Lidstrom, Paulino, Belisle, Betancourt, and Street the day off.
I don't think so. There was no talk about anybody getting the day off today.
Let alone 5 guys.
Matt was already up throwing, so you know he's available.
It's a 2-1 pitch to Eric Patterson. This one right back up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. See a Wells Fargo banker today for details. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Some fans out there in the rock pile enjoying the ball game.
I wonder if the Helmer fans are still there.
That's a good question. It was 44 degrees at the first pitch today. It's been a cold weekend in the Mile High City.
But no wind. Last time they hit
It's a balmy 44.
Yeah, last time they hit and run first pitch.
Yeah, this is Rob Johnson at the plate, who's 0 for 2 on the day.
Well, the Padres have had 32 different guys starting behind the plate since 2000 as a Padres catcher. 32 different guys. Number 1 on that list is Nick Hundley, who's on the DL right now with the strained oblique.
Well, if I remember correctly, in Rockies history, since the franchise started playing in '93, they've had 36 or 38 catchers.
Yeah, so it's just since 2000.
Yeah.
Josh Bard's on that list. Ramon Hernandez.
And I say Rockies catchers, I mean guys that have suited up and played at least one game. I mean, it's not a. It isn't as though they've had
appearance.
2 starters every year. Well, keeping an eye back there in a close play.
Patterson was leaning. A little bit of a false break towards second base. A quick swipe tag. throw over again to see what he's doing.
And that's exactly what they do.
Now Patterson's doing the right thing as a base stealer. Let me just slow this down a little bit. Get my legs so they're not tight when I go to get my lead.
Yeah, because Chris Iannetta got him in the 4th when he attempted to steal. It's the first time he'd been caught this season in 3 attempts.
Another big lead from Patterson, an extra half step.
There he goes. This one driven towards center. This is going to be a base hit. Patterson's going to move on to third base. And the Padres now have runners at the corner with 1 out.
Well, the hit and run did not work last time with Rob Johnson and Eric Patterson back in the 4th inning, but here in the 7th it does. Pitch that was up, Johnson pulls his hands in. It's right in front of Dexter Fowler. And Franklin Morales, with Chase Headley being announced as the hitter. And there's really not a whole lot of difference in Headley, right-handed or left-handed. His average is just a little bit higher right-handed. But his 1 home run on the season has come from the left side.
So here's Chase Headley with runners at the corner and 1 out into pinch hit. For 3 as a pinch hitter this year. Fouls that one back. Headley had rolled his ankle in the 2nd inning of yesterday's ball game. Was pulled out by Bud Black in the 4th. Bud Black said Headley wanted to stay in the ball game. There was no swelling in the ankle after the ball game, which was very good news. And he said he'd be available to use him today, which is the case. The 0-1 pitch. Here's a look at that play yesterday afternoon as he was going after a ground ball. Watch his right ankle as it rolls right there. Yet he still fought through about another inning and a half, 2 innings before they replaced him defensively with Jorge Cantu.
He ended up making an error in yesterday's ball game.
It's Jeff Houston throwing salt on the wound. 1-1 pitch. That one's high, ball 2.
And the error wasn't on that play.
No. 102 pitches now for Jason Hamill.
Well, unless it's a double play to get out of the inning, this is the last hitter for Jason. You'll have the left-hander Franklin Morales to come in to face Will Venable.
2-1 pitch. This one's a base hit to left field. That's going to score Eric Patterson, and it's 4-2 Padres.
Last couple times now, Jason has elevated the baseball. He elevated it to Rob Johnson for the hit and run. Now this pitch to Headley was up and away from him. Just slaps it to left field, driving in Patterson.
Well, that'll close the book on Jason Hamill. He'll leave the ball game here in the 7th inning with 1 out and a pair of runners on. Rockies trailing 4-2. Lottery, don't throw away your non-winning scratch tickets. Replay every ticket in a second chance drawing at ColoradoLottery.com. We'll take a look back at the day for Jason Hamill, who went 6 in the third innings, gave up 6 hits so far, on the hook for 4 earned runs, 3 of those coming off a 3-run homer by Ryan Ludwig back in the 4th inning. He also walked 3 and struck out 5. So now they'll turn the ball over. Hello, how are you doing? Got a Mets fan in there. Gotta get that kid suited up with the right gear. He's enjoying himself at the ballpark now. Franklin Morales on the hill. Hitters are hitting 188 against Morales this season. 2 on, 1 out. This one driven to left center field. This one is going to drop. Rob Johnson waved around. He's going to come in to score. Throw to second base, not in time. And it's a 5-2 lead for the Padres.
A 5th double on the season for Venable. Wasted no time attacking the baseball from Franklin Morales. Ball was up and in, back elbow. Notice how it dropped into a good hitting position to allow him to get on top of that baseball.
And they're,
to drive in Rob Johnson. Now they're going to make a double switch.
Yeah, Jonathan Herrera is going to go to second base. They're going to move Lopez over to third. And now they're going to go to the bullpen. So that'll be the end of the day for Ty Wigington. We'll take another timeout. Padres lead at 5-2. So far, it was a 3-run homer by Ryan Ludwig in the 4th inning. And then 2 more runs have been tacked on here in the 7th by the Padres. They lead at 5-2. Felipe Paulino now in the ball game with runners at second and third and 1 out. He's facing Jason Bartlett. A pitch outside. It has been a tough May for Paulino, who took losses in 3 straight appearances between May 3rd and May 7th, including back-to-back losses, May 6th and 7th in San Francisco.
One of those guys coming out of the pen that has struggled throwing strikes to the first batter that he faces.
Well, he's behind 2-0 on Bartlett. Bartlett's 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded out to second, grounded out to the pitcher, and grounded out to short. See Jonathan Herrera, the defensive switch we mentioned right before the break. He's at second. Lopez over at third. Bartlett drives this one to left. This is going to drive in a pair of runs. And it's going to be a double for Jason Bartlett. As the Padres continue to tack it on here in the 7th inning. That's 4 runs in the inning now. They lead at 7-2.
I just mentioned a moment ago about falling behind coming out of the bullpen. When Paulino fell behind to Jason Bartlett. All hitters' eyes get bigger when you're ahead in the count 2-0. Bartlett did not waste any time driving in the 2 runs. Unfortunately, 2 of those 3 runs now have been tacked on to Jason Hamill, so he ends up with 6 earned runs on the day.
That'll bring up Jorge Cantu. The Padres have 5 straight hits, 3 singles, and then back-to-back doubles. That pitch outside, 1-1. There is Jason Hamill watching on. Nothing he can do about it at this point. The 1-1 pitch from Paulino. Now 2-1. He's thrown 6 pitches so far. 4 of them have been balls.
That's been part of Felipe's problem all year long. Had a nice stretch, probably the first 2 or 3 outings, and after that, much worse.
It's 96 on the gun there with a fastball, and this is low, 3-1. There goes the runner. This one fouled back. Bartlett broke for third base. Have to trot back.
It might be at Coors Field tomorrow, May 16th, and you could win prizes courtesy of the Colorado Lottery as they promote their new bonus millionaire raffle.
Can we win money? You and I?
I don't think we can.
We're ineligible?
Yes. But the fans can. We want you to come out, watch the Rockies and Giants battle tomorrow night.
Fans want an out. This one driven towards right field. Seth Smith giving chase, and this one is just foul. That saved a run right there.
Well, Seth was played over a little bit to the pole gap in right center field. And a long way to run for this baseball. Just slice foul by about a foot at the last moment.
It's been 2 very different months for Felipe Paulino. The 3-2 pitch. This one fouled off. That's why you bring the glove. He's got 2 of them, actually. 2 gloves. Wears one, holds the other one for support.
In case that one rips or something, you need to have a backup.
But you can't stitch it up at the ballpark. No. You just got to go to glove number 2. Count full to Cantu. And this one fouled down the left field line. And once again, the glove pays off. Some hugs, some high fives. You got heated up on that play. I'd take the hood off. Whew. Steaming up a little bit.
Well, that adrenaline starts pumping. And 9th pitch coming up in this at bat between Cantu and Paulino.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes him out. So that brings an end to 5 straight hits for the Padres.
He tried fastballs away. Cantu hit it to right field. Tried the slider, and he pulled it down the left field line. So he said, I'm going with the changeup. But it was the location of that changeup to get Cantu out in front and strike him out.
You see Brad Hopp up now with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Jason Bartlett hanging out at second base after his RBI double. Pitch is a strike. Hop 0 for 2 with a walk, scored a run. Padres sitting on a 7-2 lead thanks to 4 runs here in this 7th inning so far. Missed by Hop. Overcast day here at Coors Field. It's been cool temperatures throughout the weekend. It makes it tougher to sit it out when your team's having some struggles. That one inside. The Rockies had a 7-1 lead yesterday, and it got away from them. Brad Hop hit a 9th inning 2-run homer in a 9-7 victory. The Rockies took an early 1-0 lead in the first inning of this ball game. The Padres came back with 3 in the 4th and haven't trailed since.
Well, you just have to turn the tables on them today, because you're sitting almost in the same spot that you were in yesterday's ball game, meaning the Rockies with the lead.
Yeah, the Padres scored 4 in yesterday's 7th inning. That was the start of their run through the final 3 innings in their comeback. So we'll see if the Rockies can do the same. Brad Hop hits one to right field. Bartlett rounding third. He'll come in to score. It's an RBI single for Brad Hop, and it's now an 8-2 ball game. That's the 6th hit of the inning for San Diego.
Oh, that front hip opens up a little early because they've been pounding him inside, trying to get him out in. Brad hit it off the label, but strong enough to hit it into center field.
This is Cameron Maben 0 for 3 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. He's the 9th batter of the inning for San Diego. Oh, 2. Cameron Maben, a guy that's had a great week offensively. Manager Bud Black said he's been a lot more patient at the plate. He swings and misses there, though, and strikes out for the 3rd time in this ball game. But the damage done as the Padres push 5 across in the inning and lead it 8-2. Back in the 4th inning, Ryan Ludwig with a 3-run homer, his 6th of the season. Made it a 3-1 ball game. Todd Helton responded in the 6th inning with a solo shot that made it a 3-2 game. That was his 6th homer of the season. Then in the 7th, the Padres breaking it wide open. It started with a Chase Headley pinch hit single that scored Eric Patterson. After that, you had a Will Venable RBI double. Jason Bartlett had a double as well that drove in a pair of runs. And Brad Hopp had an RBI single that scored Bartlett. They score 5 in the inning, and they lead it 8-2 as we go to work in the bottom half of the 7th inning. See Jonathan Herrera and Dexter Fowler, who will be up for the Rockies in this inning. And there's a new pitcher on the hill. Alberto Gonzalez over at second base. Corey Lupke's now on the hill for San Diego. And he has been lights out, allowing no runs in the last 15 innings he's pitched.
Well, the only left-hander that Bud Black has out in his bullpen. He's able to bring him in and flip Dexter to the other side, but you have 2 lefties after that, and Seth Smith and Carlos Gonzalez. Todd Helton a couple doors down with the double switch. Bud's looking to get a couple innings out of Lupke.
He's got a 6-run cushion. Jonathan Herrera, who came in defensively in this last inning, will lead things off. Gets this one fouled down the left field line. The pitcher's spot is now the 6th spot in the lineup. Herrera batting right now in the 9th spot. 0-2 count. And this is with the ball. This one grounded foul. The 1-2 pitch fouled back. Hey, who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720 and feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Get over there today between 4 and 6. Take advantage of that special. Herrera fouls another one back.
We profiled Jonathan Herrera yesterday about his right-handed versus his left-handed swing. His right-handed, he brings that front leg, his left leg up just a little bit higher. It's more of a traditional leg kick. Numbers are a little bit better right-handed, fewer at bats though.
This one a ground ball to third. It's bobbled, and Herrera's going to be safe at first, as Cantu can't handle it. That'll be his 2nd error of the season.
Well, 3 errors now on the day for the San Diego Padres. One by the second baseman, one by the shortstop, and now one by the third baseman in Jorge Cantu. That ball just ate him up, but his glove and his hands were not out in front of his body. They were too close to his body.
Dexter Fowler swings at the first pitch, fly ball to left field. Ludwig makes the catch, and there's one away. That'll bring up Seth Smith. Smith 1 for 2 on the day. Walked and scored a run in the first. That one in the dirt. He can't find it, but Herrera holds up at first base wisely.
Yeah, because if you don't go right away, you're not going to make it. Don't sit out there and think, oh, I can make it. I can't. You're down by 6 runs. Outs are a premium. If you somehow were to be thrown out, You might as well just keep walking back up into the tunnel because the manager is going to start chewing on your ear a little bit.
This one a ground ball to first. Hop to throw to second for one out. Back over to first for the double play. And that'll take care of the Rockies here in the bottom half of the seventh. We head to the eighth. Padres lead at 8-2. Fourth inning, Ryan Ludwig with a 3-run homer that at the time gave the Padres a 3-1 lead. He has 6 homers in 51 at-bats here at Coors Field. He swings at the first pitch here, drives it towards right. Helton, Herrera, everybody there. Herrera makes the catch. Felipe Paulino still on the hill for the Rockies.
He came in on the double switch and being down 8-2. Don't want to burn up anybody out in that bullpen.
This will be Eric Patterson. Got that rally in the last inning, started with a single and then scored a run on a Chase Headley pinch hit single. Excuse me, Gonzalez, Alberto Gonzalez at the plate. Gonzalez to center. That's a base hit. That'll bring up Rob Johnson, who singled and scored in the 7th. Takes that first pitch for a strike. The Rockies haven't won a series since they took on the Cubs April 25th and 26th, which turned out to be a 2-game series after the final game was rained out.
One second, Tom. Jerry Meals is saying that that ball was foul tipped into the glove of Chris Iannetta to make it an 0-2 count. Rob Johnson can't believe it. And you know, as a hitter, whether it went off your bat even just a little bit.
That one fouled off.
That one for sure. You heard that.
Iannetta did the right thing.
Yeah.
He's just going to stay out of the conversation. The 0-2 pitch, and he struck him out.
He's going to give Jerry Meals a little earful, too. We'll go back to see if we can see if this ball does indeed hit the bat. Well, that's not even close.
No.
No wonder he was arguing. Hard slider, but he's still going back to that. Instead of being at a 1-2 count, I should be sitting 2-1.
Well, I wonder what the umpire thought he heard, or why he thought that was a deflection. It sets a bad tone for the at bat either way. Forsythe, the pinch hitter now for the Padres. One and 0 the count to Forsythe. Paulino with the pitch, and it's ball 2. Forsythe 0 for 6 this season. Pops this one up. Looks like he's going to go 0 for 7 as Herrera puts it away, and that retires the Padres in the top half of the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Rockies need some runs. Freeze cam. Todd Helton with a solo home run today in the 6th inning. At the time, made it a 3-2 ball game. He has homered in back-to-back games for the first time since August of last season. Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. There's Jim Tracy standing next to Helton. Helton due up in this inning. It'll be Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, and Helton. And Jim Tracy, talking to him earlier today, he said, you know, when I got in the car yesterday, I know we lost, but I also knew we threw the best at him that we had, the way I laid out the bullpen. He goes, I didn't get in my car and second guess who I put out there. And he goes, sometimes there's going to be games like that and you lose.
You put your 8th inning guy out there, you put your closer out there. That's what you're supposed to do. It's not like he went with a different route than he's gone this whole year. And it happens. You get beat sometimes with your
well, he said it could have been, you know, a 7-1 ball game late in the ball game. I could have laid off some guys, gone a different way in the bullpen, and then been kicking myself all the way home.
Sure.
But if I throw my best pitchers at them and we don't win the ball game, what else can you do?
Nothing, man. But those ones still sting. But when you got to the park today, it was over. You were focused on today's ball game.
Carlos Gonzalez at the plate with a swing and a miss. Luke Gregerson is on the hill for the Padres. He was part of a combination yesterday with Corey Lupke, Mike Adams, and Heath Bell that combined to pitch 4 2/3 scoreless innings.
Yeah, just an inning for Gregerson yesterday, 17 pitches. They took Lupke out because they play the Arizona Diamondbacks tomorrow and the next day with all their left-handers. They wanted to make sure they still had him available.
And Carlos Gonzalez hits the dirt, and they'll come out and take a look at him.
Caught him on the front foot. Right off the baby pinky toe.
Boy, got him right under that pad he wears to cover the top of the foot where there's his shin.
Yeah, where there's no padding at all.
Keith Duggar and Jim Tracy out there taking a look at him. Gonzalez limping a bit. Let's see if he can walk it off.
We'll let him try for a little bit.
It doesn't help that the temperatures are in the 40s today. It's cold out.
None of that. I mean,
not that it would feel good to get hit in the foot on a warm day.
It could be 95 out and completely sunny, everything perfect conditions. You get hit there, it's still going to hurt the same.
I think it hurts a little extra on the cold days.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
So Carlos Gonzalez at first, and that'll bring up Troy Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki looks at a first pitch slider for a strike.
Gregerson's really a slider machine. He throws 3 out of every 4 pitches are sliders.
Tulowitzki turns on this one, drives it towards left. Runs it back to the warning track, makes the catch. And Carlos Gonzalez has to retreat back to first base. This replay is brought to you by the Colorado Lottery. Don't throw away your non-winning scratch tickets. Replay every ticket in a second chance drawing at coloradolottery.com. Todd Helton comes to the plate. We take you back to the 6th inning and his solo shot. His 6th home run of the season, and he has found his power stroke. And he's had a tremendous season so far. He's batting .319.
Troy Tulowitzki today has hit 2 balls about 740 feet combined and has nothing to show for it.
Yeah. Gregerson quickly behind Helton, 2-0. And you have Ryan Spilborghs on deck, as that's the pitching position in the batting order at this point.
Matt Reynolds will be coming into the ball game.
The 2-0 pitch. That one's a strike. 2-1. With a single to right field, Carlos Gonzalez will hold up at second base. As the Rockies try and get something started here in the bottom half of the 8th.
Well, that's all you can do is try to chip away a little bit, chip away. And Gregerson, not where Rob Johnson wanted the baseball, wanted it away. Todd was fooled by the pitch. But instead of those hips sliding forward on a pitch that you're fooled on, is still just drop the back leg, don't slide with that, keep the hands going, and he was able to drive it into right field.
That'll bring up Ryan Spilborghs, who's 3 for 12 as a pinch hitter this year with a home run and 4 RBIs. Looks like the first pitch strike. Almost got away from Rob Johnson. Talked about at the top of the series how strong the Padres bullpen has been. They certainly lived up to the billing so far. Rockies trying to flip that here in the 8th inning. 1-1 pitch. That's a strike.
4 2/3 in yesterday's ball game. No runs, no base runners. So far the same between Qualls and Lukey, and now Gregerson.
On the inside. Makes the count 1-2. There's the pitch from Gregerson. Windshield damaged? Call Safelight Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com.
Gregerson threw that last fastball inside just to kind of make Ryan aware that he can come inside. But after he does that, he loves to throw that slider down and away.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out.
Well, he wanted the slider down and away, but it would left it up into the zone, and he got away with one.
Well, that'll bring up Jose Lopez, who has a pair of singles and then reached base in the 6th inning on a throwing error by Bartlett. Lopez trying to keep this inning going for the Rockies, who trail 8-2. Follows this one over towards the Padres bullpen. If you joined us late, Rockies put a run on the board in the 1st inning. The Padres came back with a 3-run homer in the 4th by Ryan Ludwig to take the lead. They haven't trailed since, and they piled on 5 runs in the 7th inning to make it an 8-2 ball game.
All with 1 out. They got the first out of that inning, and then after that it was base hit by Patterson, Johnson. Headley came in, pinch hit, RBI single. Venable and Bartlett.
The 0-1 pitch to Lopez. That's a ball. Lopez with a pair of hits today gives him his first multi-hit game since opening day.
Raised his average today going into this at bat by 17 points. That's all you can do if you're Jose Lopez. Keep trying to chip away every time you have that opportunity. Your average isn't going to go from 153, what it was coming into the game, over 200 in one day. Keep bouncing it forward.
Just keep it in the right direction. 1-1. Grounder to third, and that'll end the inning. We head to the top of the 9th. Padres with an 8-2 lead. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by StubHub. StubHub! Fans, next time you want to catch a Rockies game, head to StubHub, where you'll find a great selection of seats for every game. By Wells Fargo, get 2-for-1 Rockies tickets. Wells Fargo customers visit wellsfargo.com/Rockies for 2-for-1 club seats. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Welcome back to Coors Field. Padres with an 8-2 lead as we start the top of the ninth. Right now, let's send it out to Alana Rizzo for a Toyota postgame preview.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. Today on the postgame preview, actually the postgame show for Toyota, we're talking about lactose intolerant. The Colorado Rocky is only getting 4 hits and 2 runs off of a pitcher who doesn't have a win so far this season. He'll probably get the first one today, unfortunately. And then we're also talking Tadios. Todd Helton with his 6th home run of the season, saying goodbye to another ball going into the Rockies bullpen. Mark Stout will get you into the clubhouse and talk to the players. And don't forget to continue to text for the Toyota postgame show, guys.
Alana, those were good. Did you come up with those ones?
No.
Come on.
I had a lot of help.
You contributed, though, right?
Well, I said that I would do it. Is that part of a contribution? I agreed with them.
Yeah. The postgame producer, Allison,
yes.
She's a bully.
She's very good.
Yeah.
Though. She's very good.
She's very persuasive. Thank you, Alana.
You're welcome.
Yeah, don't forget, Toyota Talk continues during the entire postgame show, so keep texting in your comments. Ryan Spilborg's in left field now in place of Carlos Gonzalez, and Matt Reynolds now on the hill for the Rockies. He'll face Will Venable to start things off here in the top half of the ninth. Venable had a RBI double in the 7th, and 5-run inning for San Diego.
That's the one that, to me, was kind of the backbreaker, because you brought in Franklin Morales to face Venable on the first swing. He hits a base hit.
This one towards the left center. Mr. Fowler drifts over and puts it away. Today's Save of the Week is brought to you by the region's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, who remind you to adjust your thermostat and start feeling the savings. Visit togetherwesave.com. How about Houston Street with a save on Monday against the New York Mets? Rockies anxious to get him back in a save situation to pick up a victory. Things didn't go well for him yesterday as he gave up the 2-run homer to Brad Hopp. And it's going to happen from time to time. The problem is, when you're a relief pitcher, you're not guaranteed you're going to get a chance to redeem yourself the following day. You may have to wait a couple of days.
Yeah, but that's what makes the good ones good, is because they, even with the outing that Houston had yesterday, you can put that out of your back of your mind. Yet you want to go out there again today, but you didn't have the opportunity. So you've already kind of put that one to bed. And you have to look forward.
He says pretty much by the time he either gets home or to the hotel, that one's over with.
What can you do about it?
You wash it off and you get, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it at that point. You just get ready for the next chance. 1-2 the count to Bartlett. He's 1 for 4 on the day. Doubled in the 7th, scored a run, drove in a pair. He strikes out here. That'll bring up Jorge Cantu. Matt Reynolds is a guy that has really been impressive.
Well, you followed up what he did in the second half of last year and allowed them to not re-sign Joe Beimel. They had the confidence in Matt Reynolds to be that lefty late inning guy. But what makes Matt so good is that it's not only against right or left-handers, it's also against right-handers.
Well, opponents are hitting 181 off him lifetime since his call-up. He was the first guy from the 2007 draft class for the Rockies to be called up to the bigs. There's a grounder to third. Lopez with the throw to first. And that retires the Padres in the top half of the ninth. Rockies have some work to do offensively. It's 8-2 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Denver, where you can make the world your workplace. Todd Helton homered in this ball game. Back-to-back homers for the first time since August of last year. Ryan Ludwig did the damage for the Padres in the 4th inning with a 3-run homer, and then of course 5-run rally for the Padres in the 7th has made it an 8-2 ball game. So Freary on the hill now for the Padres.
We saw him in the ball game a couple days ago, the first game. Usually used earlier in the game, but with the 8-2 lead in the 9th inning, wanted to save some of the other guys down there, so they bring him in to try to get the final 3 outs.
Chris Iannetta will lead things off for the Rockies here in the bottom half of the 9th. Freary's only been scored upon 3 times in 18 appearances. That'll go on a base hit over the left side, and Iannetta's on with a single.
Broken back kind of broke Chris out of a mini slump. Tail back in, off the plate. It actually ended up pulling the hands in. The top hand came off just to try to get the barrel to the baseball.
That'll bring up Jonathan Herrera, who reached on an error by Cantu in the 7th inning. Rockies have 6 hits today. 5 of those hits have been singles, and they haven't had 2 hits in an inning so far this ball game. This one right back to him, and this one will be a double play. 1-6-3. So it'll come down to Dexter Fowler with 2 outs in the 9th. Strike on the first pitch. Oh, 1 pitch. Swings at it, fouls back. Won't get any easier for the Rockies tomorrow as they welcome in the defending world champion San Francisco Giants because of the rain out in Chicago today. Tim Lincecum getting pushed to tomorrow, so it'll be Lincecum on the hill facing Clayton Mortensen. You'll have Sanchez to deal with on Tuesday.
But you're just going to have to regroup. These have been a couple losses that have really hurt. But you can't sit around and feel sorry for yourself or have a pity party. You got to come and battle Lincecum tomorrow, plain and simple.
One and 2 the count to Fowler. Swing and a miss. He strikes out, and that's the ball game. The Padres come into Coors Field and take 2 of 3 from Colorado. The Rockies have now lost 4 of their last 5. Matt Latos picks up the victory, his first victory of 2011. Today's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Matt Latos goes 5 2/3 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, walked 3, struck out 5, and avoids losing his 11th straight decision. Ryan Ludwig with a big 3-run homer in the 4th inning, his 6th of the season. The Padres never trailed after that point, and they win it by a score of 8-2. Stay tuned. The Toyota postgame show is coming your way next.